Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ModzvilleUSA back with another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at this bad boy right here. I'm very excited to get this. It's been about 2 months waiting for this bad boy. Purchased from Aliexpress. We'll have it linked down below, obviously. What this is a brand new Neo Geo. Looks exactly like the AES consoles, the home consoles from back in the day, but this is a MVS arcade motherboard. I believe specifically it's an MV1B that's been consoleized in these brand new injection molded shells, which I must say, I mean, that was specifically why I bought this. I already have an open MVS, but these just look really nice, and yeah, it's here. I'm touching it, I'm feeling it. It feels like it's built quite well. Now, I've also owned an Omega at one point, which is much more comparable to this, as that is a newer injection molded shell for a consoleized MVS, but personally I feel like the build quality is better on this, just shell wise, and the price is significantly cheaper than the Omega. But we're going to tear this bad boy down. I'm going to get some footage, and I'll get some open MVS footage too, and we'll bounce them back and forth and compare, see what we got. I want to be running that through from my RetroTink 5X to my Elgato HD60. We'll be getting a new capture card soon, but it's not here yet, and I'd like to get the ball rolling, show you guys what's up, check it out. So I posted on Twitter a picture of this bad boy and asked if you guys had any requests, and there was a lot of things people wanted me to test, the resistors on the RGB line, voltages, lag testing, USB, all of that. But thankfully, Bob from Retro RGB, that is kind of his forte, popped in, and he is willing. We're gonna shoot this, I'm gonna test it out, I'm gonna check it out, I'm gonna ship this on over to Bob, and he's gonna run some lag tests on it. He's gonna hook it up to the oscilloscope, check voltages, make sure it's safe, good to go. The burning questions that you guys all have, I've got them too, and Bob is the guy, he's the man for that. So if you're not already subscribed to Retro RGB, hello, you want to focus? Hello? Hey, there it goes, now it's focused. If you're not already subscribed to Retro RGB, go check them out, and I will have down in the description pinned comment as well once the results are in. I don't know if Bob's going to do a video, just a post, or whatever, but whatever the results are, I will have those linked for, and update you guys, link you over, check it out once he runs the tests and sees what's going on. But for now, we're just going to check out what's going on under the hood, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a gameplay. One other thing worth mentioning here too is it does not come like this with the sticker, so you have to apply those yourself, and it comes with an extra set here, I guess, in case you fuck it up. Now previously, before I got it, the seller showed me a picture of it in the box, because it was like kind of taking forever to ship, and he sent me a picture to prove he had it. They showed it in a box with like Neo Geo branding, like a really nice premium looking setup. Oh, I believe there was issues, like a counterfeiting issue or whatever, and it got denied, and they repackaged it in a generic box, unfortunately. But have that show that picture of what it looked like originally. So a bit of a gamble. I don't know if you're gonna get it in a generic box or a nicer box, but you can see what it was supposed to look like, and what I got is just generic, and it comes with this. comes with a nice little, pretty durable looking composite cables. S-Video right here. Got some component cables that don't have audio, which is kind of annoying, so you're gonna have to mix and match your component and composite. Not the end of the world. Got a nice little power supply that's very reminiscent of like a tiny 360 power supply. Feels alright. Totally fine, whatever. Got a very flimsy, non-grounded AC power supply here. Don't love it, and that's it. So let's take a look here at the I/O in the front. It's a little off. So the symmetry here is jacked because of the switch, but it's got everything you need. So I think it looks totally fine. Got the DB15 USB port, so you've got options for the generic Neo Geo controller, or you can use a USB controller, a headphone jack in case you want to crank the tunes, and then another USB DB15. And on the back we got a whole lot of outputs. We've got composite, we've got component, we've got S-Video, and then the 2 audio. And we got the sRGB out. Looks like a generic Neo Geo connector, so you can go ahead and grab like a Neo Geo SCART cable from Insurrection and call it a day if you want. I'm going to be doing everything over at component. But yeah, that's the gist of it. So let's flip this bad boy over and crack her open. Now I know for sure it's got some sort of UniBIOS going on. I do not know if it's got the VMC or the memory card add-on. We got a little warranty sticker here. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, these feet kind of suck, so I'm just going to come to terms with I'm going to replace these feet. I'm going to get some nicer feet. Moment of truth, what's going on? Okay, we got a ribbon cable. For the reset button, I'm sure. I already feel his connectors right here on the left. Alright, beautiful. Ooh, that's annoying. Not a problem. But the that one's set of focus. Wasn't in there very well, so it came out. Okay, this is the kind of shots this camera does better at. So right here we're in the BIOS, and got a little hot glue in the corners. Not the great. That's not the end of the world. Let's see what we got here. So. It's an interesting BIOS adapter, so I guess they're because I know you can just get some chips that are just drop-ins that replaces the original, like not drop-ins. Like you need to desolder, program and solder the new one here. But yeah, I mean, this is a interesting adapter choice they went with. They went with the full-on socketed BIOS chip. Almost made like more work because you have to solder this to the adapter, solder that to the like the surface mount legs. Seems more difficult to install, but maybe saving a couple cents. Overall, the mod work looks pretty good. Got a little dab of hot glue. Interesting choice. Okay, I just looked in to this to see what this Neo Buff board is, and I guess this is a like a modern replacement that for a chip that goes bad on the Neo Geos. So this is obviously that would be a proprietary chip, and a suitable open source replacement has been discovered or developed, and that's what this is. So this has nothing to do with the VMC or saving, but modern chip for something that's known to go bad. Nice and future proof. Not complaining there. Very nice. It does look like it has been recapped. ModzvilleUSA here, popping in to say, I believe I was mistaken. Posted some pics with the capacitors, and shout out to Tian Fang. They didn't look stock. I didn't believe they would just have them like lifted like this, but I guess these TK capacitors are indeed stock, and allegedly some of these MVS boards are known to have hot glue even on the capacitors stock. So doesn't look like it's been recapped, and that's something I will likely be doing in the future with this bad boy. That's right. Oh, that's interesting. So they're using, this could be bad and very bad down the line. So for the battery holder, it looks like, well, that is wild. So if you're in the original Xbox scene, you've probably heard of the clock capacitor, which is notorious for fucking exploding and like destroying motherboards. So it could be those clock capacitors they use. So right here, this would have been the coin cell holder, or the coin cell battery. For, I'm assuming on Neo Geos it's for keeping like clock times and stuff. It's usually what those do. But instead of using a new coin cell battery, they went with one of these super capacitors, and it's going from ground to pin 1. Yeah, pin 1 of this chip right here. Interesting choice. We'll see how that pans out down the line. If those start exploding or not, we'll find out. But for now, seems to get the job done. So I don't know how exactly they did this. So this is an MV1B board. If you look up I'll throw up a picture right now of what these boards look like. Normally, they're much taller, and the cartridge slot is facing out, so it's disconnected, stacked on top of one another. You see there's a gap there. And then there's this massive PCB here with its own chips going on. I'm assuming these have to do with the video output. Probably some sort of power circuit here. And yeah, JAMA port up front under the board right here. So there's 2 revisions. So after I purchased this console, between the time I purchased it and it's showing up here. A second revision came out with an updated JAMA connector, and that connector, from what I've gathered, the only difference with the revision is, I believe, tear the console open like this, like we have here on the JAMA connector. There's options to like dial in the screen positioning. I don't believe that's going to be an issue. I could likely sort that out on my scaler, but that is worth noting. There's 2 revisions of this, and from what I've gathered, you know, don't do your own research if that's something that interests you, but from what I've gathered, the second revision, the only difference is the JAMA connector having some sort of manual push buttons to adjust the video orientation. So it's about as far as I want to tear this bad boy down. I don't really care what's going on under here, but I do want to see what's going on. So let's see which version of UniBIOS this is on. Let's see if we have access to saves, and let's see what the quality, the video and audio looks like, and pair that up against the OMVS. So let's do it. So as you can see here, we are rocking UniBIOS 4.0. Very nice, very good. Happy about that. Now I like going with the USA BIOS just because of the neat little FBI don't do drugs warning. You gotta love it. A little less blood, I guess, here and there, but I don't know, I find that screen to be funny. And when we boot into the memory card manager, we can see that we do not have a virtual memory card. Unfortunately, we'll have to add one later. Alright dudes, I'm going to just shut up and compare the footage and audio back to back using some Metal Slug X footage between the MVS and the OMVS. The one thing that you're going to notice right away, the most glaringly obvious thing, is the difference in saturation, whereas the OpenMVS is far more vibrant colors. In comparison, the new MVS is much more desaturated, so check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about right away.
Marco! Mission 1, start! Thank you. Heavy machine gun. Thank you. Heavy machine gun. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Well, alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is day 2 with this thing, and let's just round this video off with my thoughts, my impressions, and you know, just my initial takeaway from this bad boy compared to the OpenMVS. We'll start with the pros here. So the pros are super premium shell, really nice shell. They did a fantastic job on this shell. That is really the selling point, why anyone would really want this thing. But yeah, premium shell, very, very nice. Another plus we got is the USB inputs. It's nice to have options. You can get your DB15 Neo Geo controller. Second player could be using any random USB fight stick. Very nice option. Addition, that is. Also, the choice of video outputs is quite top notch. Chef's kiss on having just standard component, female RCA, got S video on there, and then the Neo Geo RGB connector. It also comes pre-installed with UniBIOS 4. Can't complain there. And another plus we got is that NeoBuff adapter board, modern open source component there, replacing a chip that may not have been faulty to begin with, but seems like a decent preventative measure. I'll put that in the pros category as well. Let's get into what I don't like about this thing, and that is, first and foremost, is the premium quality seems to begin and end with the shell. Everything else about it feels very penny pinching, very corner cutty, kind of maximize profits, use be as cheap as possible, wherever possible, is the vibe that I get after poking around in here. Mine seems to have a misaligned power supply jack. Not ideal. That is not aligned properly. So yeah, quality control might be a little scuffed there. Next up is the super cheap feeling cables. It's not the end of the world. I've got my own cables. Power supply, not as cheap as the cables. The AC, like the power cord itself, is probably one of the cheapest AC power cords I've ever seen or felt in my life. Cables are quite awful. So let me show you. There's like no grip on these. And luckily it's not the female port, it is the included cables, but you plug one in and it's just so loose. Use other cables and it grips quite a bit better. So there's that. Next up we got that unnecessary hot glue on the mod work for the UniBIOS, as well as the NeoBuff board. It's not ideal. Get some close-up pictures. Seems unnecessary, a little hacky. Unfortunate. It's not the end of the world. It's just, you don't need to use hot glue to line up something to solder it. The solder work seemed totally fine. I'm not complaining about the soldering. The mod work itself seemed perfectly fine. The hot glue, not ideal. Definitely not for something that with a shell just like this, it doesn't fit the premium quality of the shell. Is all I'm getting at there, but certainly not the end of the world. Another con for sure is the video and audio seem to be subpar to the open MVS by quite a bit. I mean, it's super desaturated. Just look at the footage, the back and forth there. Make up your own mind of what sounds and looks better, but I would say the open MVS kind of takes the crown as far as video and audio quality goes. It might be subjective, but yeah, that's my opinion. Next up on my con list is that super capacitor. Roll the photo there. Debatable. we'll have to get other people chiming in here and let us know how they feel about that, using that super cap there instead of a coin cell battery. But I think it's unnecessary. It might be dicey down the line. I only know those things for exploding in the original Xbox and causing all sorts of problems. So I don't love it. I'm not a fan of that. Next on the list is no virtual memory card. You know, it's a con for sure. Now, if anybody knows like an adapter, like a virtual memory card adapter that isn't the Neo BIOS Master, that's just explicitly to add save game function to the MV1B motherboard, please let me know in the comments down below, as I would love to get one of those and not have to go all out replacing the BIOS and adding that functionality just because we don't need it. It seems a waste of a good EEPROM to chuck one in here when we only need the virtual memory card. Next up on the list is super stiff DB15 connector. Got my fight stick right here, and it's kind of brutal. Oh, that's the wrong way. That'll be a problem. Yeah, it's fine. You could feel it get loosening up a little bit the more I use it, but it is fucking stiff. So I mean, that could be a pro or a con. I mean, once you're gaming, this thing ain't going nowhere, but yeah, that's takes a little bit of force, quite a significant amount. And the last one is questionable. So like I mentioned before, there's the V1s of these as well as the V2, and the V2 added some sort of tactile buttons to the JAMA port to change the positioning, like the vertical and horizontal alignment. On my TV, I had to adjust it, like it was too far cropped down on the bottom, and I had a black bar. Super easy to do with my RetroTink. Just go into the settings and tweak it a little bit. But my capture card seems to censor it perfectly, so it might just depend on the display you're using, how it translates. Maybe it's some overscan kind of issue. Not sure there. My capture card liked it perfectly fine. My TV, I needed to adjust it, but something worth noting for sure, if you plan to hook this up directly to via a component, like to a CRT or something, you might have some weird alignment issues that's only fixable with the V2 revision of these, because the V1 doesn't have that ability on the JAMA port. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Hey, you want to focus? If anyone knows a good camcorder, please let me know, because this thing's been whatever the hell I'm using to capture this overhead footage has been going crazy lately. Can't focus on nothing. You want to focus? It doesn't matter, we're at the end of the video. So anyways, dudes, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, is it worth $400? Kinda. But it's not perfect. I like it. It's slick, aesthetically pleasing. Seems inferior to the Open MVS on the technical standpoint, at least in a lot of ways. But I don't know. I like it aesthetically. I'm gonna be putting some work into this, so yeah, I'm gonna make this a bit more top-notch, redo the capacitors, see what's going on, and we will certainly see what's going on with the lag test, the voltage test, when I send this over to Bob. So if you're on the fence, maybe stay on the fence until those results are in. But yeah, I don't know. I'm I'm content with my purchase. I think it looks delightful, and it gets the job done, that's for sure. So fuck it, I'm fine with it. Make up your own mind if you want one or you don't. Anyways, thanks for watching, dudes. Catch you later.
Back and say what to do, ModzvilleUSA.